You know, it wasn't a fancy place, just the kind of diner with sticky menus and the smell of coffee that's been on the burner too long. A young man brought his grandmother in for a late breakfast. She moved with that careful slowness that comes with age, her hands trembling just a bit. As she went to pour a little cream into her coffee, her hand gave a sudden, unexpected shake. A small pitcher slipped, and a wave of cream splashed across the table, soaking the placemat and dripping onto her lap. A hush fell over their corner of the diner. You could feel the judgment from a couple at the next booth, the subtle eye roll, the quiet sigh. But the grandson, he didn't flinch. He didn't look annoyed or turn red. He just reached over with a napkin, smiled at her, and said, "Don't you worry about that for a second. More for the coffee, less for the cup, right?" After they finished their food, he stood up, gently took her arm, and guided her to the restroom. He didn't make a scene. He just helped her clean the mess, dabbed the stain on her dress with a wet paper towel, and carefully fixed the clip that had slipped in her thin, white hair. When they walked back out, the diner was quiet. The earlier judgment had been replaced by a heavy, almost ashamed silence. The young man paid the check at the counter, tucked his grandmother's arm in his, and they headed for the door. Just as the bell above the door chimed, an elderly woman who'd been sitting at the counter swiveled on her stool. "Young man," she called out, her voice soft but clear in the quiet room. "I think you forgot something." He patted his pockets instinctively, then gave a polite smile. "No, ma'am, I've got everything." The woman at the counter shook her head, and her eyes were a little shiny. "Oh, but you did," she said. "You left a lesson for every grandchild, and a memory for every grandmother who wishes they'd been loved like that." And with that, the only sound was the door swinging shut behind them.